Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of quarter-dollar coins. Coins that most people ignore, spend without thinking, or leave forgotten in drawers. But hidden among them are rare pieces with incredible history, unique errors, and collector demand that can turn a single dollar into a small fortune. The 1976 D. Washington quarter was struck to celebrate 200 years of American independence. Unlike standard quarters, it carries the dual date, 1776 to 1976, and a unique reverse design featuring a colonial drummer boy. This instantly sets it apart from ordinary coins and gives it a collectible identity. Millions were minted in Denver. That's what the D stands for. So most examples are common. But within this sea of coins, a few hidden treasures exist. What transforms an ordinary coin into something extraordinary is condition and rarity. Coins that were never circulated, known as mint state, can shine with original luster, sharp details, and no wear. A perfectly preserved 1976 D quarter can sell for significantly more than 25 cents. But the real excitement begins when we talk about coins graded at the very highest levels, where even tiny imperfections can affect value dramatically. Then come the true prize pieces, error coins. Some 1976 D quarters were struck with mistakes, off-center designs, doubled lettering, or struck on the wrong metal planchet. These minting errors are like fingerprints. No two are exactly alike. Collectors are willing to pay hundreds or even thousands of dollars for dramatic, eye-catching errors. These are the coins that create headlines and fuel the dream of finding treasure in everyday change. Another factor that boosts value is silver content. But here's the catch. Most 1976 D quarters are not silver. The silver versions were mainly produced in San Francisco as special collector sets. So if someone claims their Denver minted quarter is silver, it's worth checking carefully. Because if true, that would be extremely unusual and valuable. Grading also plays a critical role. Professional grading services evaluate coins based on surface quality, strike sharpness, and eye appeal. A 1976 D quarter graded at the very top, something like MS 67 or higher, can command impressive prices at auction. These top-tier coins are rare because even small handling marks can lower the grade significantly. Despite all the excitement, the reality is this. Most 1976 D quarters in everyday condition are worth just face value or slightly more. The dream of instant wealth exists, but only in very specific, rare circumstances, exceptional condition, rare errors, or unusual composition. Without those factors, the coin remains a meaningful but modest collectible. So if you have a 1976 D quarter, don't rush to spend it, but don't assume it's a hidden fortune either. Examine it closely. Look for sharp details, unusual features, or anything that seems off. Sometimes, the thrill isn't just in the value. It's in the hunt, the history, and the possibility that among ordinary coins, an extraordinary one might still be waiting to be discovered. Let's clear something up right away. There is no such thing as a 1966 D quarter. In 1966, the United States Mint temporarily removed mint marks from all coins to discourage collectors from hoarding them. So if you ever see a 1966 D quarter, it's either a misunderstanding, a modified coin, or simply not authentic. That doesn't mean 1966 quarters are worthless, but it does mean the idea of a guaranteed $1 million coin from that year is more fantasy than fact. Now, here's where things get interesting. The 1966 quarter belongs to the famous Washington quarter series, featuring the iconic portrait of George Washington. These coins were struck in huge numbers, hundreds of millions, so most of them today are still only worth face value or a small premium. But in the world of coin collecting, value isn't just about age. it's about rarity, condition, and errors. The real hidden treasure lies in exceptional condition coins. A 1966 quarter that has never been circulated, with sharp details and a brilliant surface. Graded at the very top levels like MS-67 or higher, can command surprisingly strong prices. While not in the millions, such coins can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars to serious collectors who demand perfection. Even more exciting are mint errors, the true wild cards of coin collecting. Imagine a 1966 quarter struck on the wrong metal planchet, or one with a dramatic double strike, off-center design, or die error. These rare mistakes are incredibly scarce because they slipped past quality control. A dramatic and authenticated error coin can skyrocket in value, sometimes reaching several $1,000s depending on its uniqueness. There's also the intriguing possibility of transitional metal errors. In 1965, the U.S. moved away from silver quarters to copper-nickel-clad coins. If a 1966 quarter were somehow struck on an old silver planchet, a very rare occurrence, that coin would instantly become a collector's dream. These are the kinds of discoveries that spark headlines and fuel the idea of hidden treasure in your pocket. However, it's important to stay grounded. Despite all the excitement, no regular 1966 quarter is known to be worth millions. Claims that such coins can make you a billionaire overnight are exaggerated myths, often spread to grab attention. The real coin market is driven by verified rarity, professional grading, and collector demand, not hype. If you think you have a special 1966 quarter, the smartest move is to have it evaluated by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. These organizations can authenticate the coin, assign it a grade, and determine whether it has any valuable errors or unusual characteristics. In the end, the 1966 quarter is not a guaranteed jackpot, but it can still be a fascinating piece of history with hidden potential. The thrill comes from the possibility that one small, overlooked coin might carry a rare flaw or pristine condition that sets it apart from millions of others. So don't ignore it, but don't expect instant riches either. The real value lies in knowledge, patience, and the sharp eye of a true collector. Let's get one thing straight before we dive into the excitement. A regular 1981 D. Washington quarter is not a guaranteed millionaire-making coin. The idea that it can make you a billionaire overnight is more fantasy than reality. But, and this is where it gets interesting, certain rare versions and conditions of that coin can be surprisingly valuable, and in the world of coin collecting, even small details can turn an ordinary piece into something extraordinary. The 1981 D quarter belongs to the long-running Washington Quarter series, minted in Denver Mint. This year is particularly fascinating because it came during a time when fewer collectors were saving coins in pristine condition. Most of these quarters were used heavily in everyday transactions, meaning that finding one in near-perfect or flawless condition today is quite rare, and rarity is what drives value in the collector's market. Now here's where the real intrigue begins. A standard circulated 1981 D quarter might only be worth its face value or slightly more. However, coins graded in extremely high condition, like MS-65, MS-66, or even higher by professional grading standards, can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Why? Because collectors are willing to pay a premium for coins that look almost untouched, with sharp details, brilliant luster, and no visible wear. Even more valuable are coins with minting errors, which are like hidden secrets stamped into metal. Imagine a 1981 D quarter with a double strike, off-center design, or unusual die crack. These imperfections can dramatically increase its value. In rare cases, such error coins have sold for significant amounts because they are one-of-a-kind pieces that tell a story of how the minting process went slightly wrong. Another factor that can elevate the worth of your coin is its grading certification. Organizations like Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or Numismatic Guarantee Company, NGC, evaluate coins and assign them a grade. A 1981 D quarter in top-tier condition, officially certified, can command strong prices at auctions. Without proper grading, even a potentially valuable coin might go unnoticed or undervalued. The dream of discovering a hidden treasure in your pocket change is what makes coin collecting so thrilling. While a 1981 D quarter won't usually turn someone into a billionaire, the possibility of finding a rare variation or a pristine specimen adds a sense of adventure. It's like holding a small piece of history, one that has passed through countless hands, yet still holds the potential to surprise. If you think you might have one of these coins, don't rush to sell it for a small amount. Examine it carefully under good lighting, check for unusual features, and consider having it professionally evaluated. Sometimes, what looks ordinary at first glance can reveal extraordinary value when viewed through the eyes of an expert. In the end, the true power of a 1981 D quarter isn't just in its price, it's in the mystery, the history, and the excitement it carries. It may not instantly make you rich beyond imagination, but under the right conditions, it can still be a valuable collectible that sparks curiosity and, occasionally, rewards those who take a closer look. The idea that a 1984 P Mint Mark quarter can instantly make you a millionaire sounds exciting, but it's not how the real coin market works. Let's clear the fog first. A standard 1984 quarter struck in Philadelphia, which actually does not carry a P Mint mark, even though it was made there by the United States Mint, is not worth millions under normal circumstances. Most of these coins are still only worth face value, 25 cents, because they were produced in huge quantities. However, don't lose interest yet, because there are rare exceptions that collectors hunt for. What truly gives a 1984 quarter value is not the date alone, but its condition and any minting errors. Coins that are perfectly preserved, what collectors call uncirculated or graded MS 65 and above, can sell for a few dollars to perhaps $20 to $100 depending on quality. That's already much higher than face value, but nowhere near life-changing wealth. The real excitement begins when we talk about error coins, which are mistakes made during the minting process. One of the most sought-after possibilities in a 1984 quarter is a double die error, where the design appears slightly duplicated due to misalignment during striking. If you happen to find a genuine double die example, its value can jump significantly, sometimes reaching hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on how strong and visible the error is. These are rare, and most coins you see won't have them, but they are the reason collectors inspect every detail closely. Another hidden treasure could be a struck-through error, where a foreign object interfered during minting, leaving unusual marks or textures. These odd-looking coins often attract collectors because they are unique. Similarly, off-center strikes, where the design is not properly aligned, can also increase value. The more dramatic the error, the more desirable it becomes in the collector's world. Now, here's the part many people overlook. Condition matters more than age. A worn 1984 quarter that has circulated through thousands of hands is unlikely to hold much value. But a coin that looks almost untouched, sharp details, original shine, no scratches, can be appealing to collectors. Professional grading services can certify such coins, and that certification can significantly influence their market price. It's also important to understand how myths spread. Claims about million-dollar coins often come from misunderstandings or exaggerations. Yes, some rare U.S. coins have sold for millions, but those are usually extremely rare historical pieces, not common modern quarters like 1984 issues. The excitement around everyday coins sometimes gets blown out of proportion creating unrealistic expectations. That said, your 1984 quarter could still be worth checking carefully. Use a magnifying glass, look for unusual features, and compare it to standard images. If you suspect something rare, showing it to a coin expert or dealer is a smart move. Even if it's not a jackpot coin, you might still discover a small but interesting collectible. In the end, the 1984 quarter doesn't hold the secret to instant billionaire status, but it does carry a different kind of value, the thrill of discovery. Every coin tells a story, and sometimes, hidden within ordinary metal, there's a surprising twist waiting to be uncovered. Keep your expectations realistic, but your curiosity sharp. That's where the real treasure lies.